Hi, Mataz here. Today we're checking out a brand new baby audio plugin, namely Transit. The Transit plugin is a collaborative development with YouTuber and musician Andrew Huang. And from what I can see, this will be the definite plugin to help you create the transitions in your music tracks. So let's take the tour. The arrangement here is just a simple 8-bar loop with a few clips here in Bitwig Studio. And you can hear that the Transit plugin really applied some cool effects here, which you can use to create the shorter or longer transitions. And for this specific demo, I was using one of the bundle, the presets called the Transition 1 Echo Swirl 1. Transit at the core is basically an effect chain. So we have 7 different modules, and at all these different module slots we can have different effects. So there's everything from autopan, bit crusher, chorus, delay, distortion, filter 12 dB, filter 24 dB, flanger, noise, oscillator, OTT, phaser, pitch shift, pump, reverb, spread, tremolo, and finally the utility effect. Oops. So you can have any of these effects in any of these slots, and you can also move this around, of course. And with the Transit control, you can basically modulate or automate the different parameters on all these effect modules with one single knob. So that's the power here, that we can do a lot of effect modulation with just one single control and basically make these nice, sweet transitions. And the plugin is obviously bundled with a whole range of different presets for all kinds of effect transition scenarios. So let's begin from scratch and look at how we can create our own effect chain. First we need to erase the chain, and we have an erase chain button at the top. Let's confirm. So with a clean slate, let's begin adding our first module. Let's begin with just a simple delay. By default, without moving the transition control, we won't hear any effects. So to hear the effect in action or hear the delay, we need to move the Transit control. And you can see there, as I move the Transit control, we have this black little dot moving, which shows where in the parameter automation or the parameter modulation we currently have the value. So if we have the transition control in the middle, we're halfway through the wet mix of the delay. If you want to change which of the parameters in a specific module is affected by the Transit control, you need to activate this motion. So with the yellow dot, or with the bright yellow dot, we have automation going on, which is controlled with the Transit control. So we can also change the length of the delay with the Transit control. But by default, we only have the mix controlled with the Transit control. So we can also change the behavior of the Transit control. By default, it's a linear transition. So you can see it corresponds exactly to where we have the Transit control. But we can also change this to another type of curve. So now it's going faster in the beginning and slows down at the very end of the mix here. We can also change the minimum and maximum value of the Transit control's application to a module parameter. So if we press the outside ring here on the mix and drag downwards, we can make it only go to the maximum of 50% mix. Let's also try adding motion to the length. Which can be a cool effect. Right, so let's continue the effect chain and add some more devices. So maybe we can add some distortion. Now, if we want the distortion to happen before the delay, we can easily just move the distortion module to the delay, and they swap places. After the delay, let's add a reverb. So we have a nice sweet reverb there, and let's increase the size. Pay attention to the reverb module here. We can't add that motion effect to the size. But I think that's by design, because it can sound very weird if you change the size of the reverb with modulation. It's better to change maybe the length. So let's apply the length and increase the tone slightly so we have a brighter reverb. An obvious use case with transit and this transition control knob is to increase this with automation during maybe 8 or 16 bars to create that transition. So we can easily do that here in Bitwig by adding some automation to the master lane. So let's add the automation for 8 bars, and then after the 8 bars we will go down to 0, so we basically have our drop there. So that's basically how you can quickly create a transition effect with transit and then add it as a transition to your arrangement with just a simple automation on a single knob. It's magical. Now sometimes it can be hard to create your own transition effects if you don't know really where to start, or maybe you're stuck on ideas. And that's where the randomize feature comes into play. So let's try the randomize here and see if we get some cool effects going. Okay, so that's a brief introduction into the Transit plugin. Please let me know in the comments what you think, and if you decide to check out Transit, please use my affiliate link in the description, and that way you also support my channel. Thanks for watching today, hope you had a nice time, and see you in the next episode. Bye!